We used to walk home. Dave and I used to live in the same part of town, and we would walk home from the Comedy
gay
Cellar.
district.
Yes,
Yeah.
we would walk home from the Comedy Cellar, and it was like a 50-block walk. And we would just walk. It was so funny. Dave would always be like, "Come on, man, let's walk. It'll be good for us." And then the whole way we'd just be chain smoking and like chugging coffee and shit. It was like the most unhealthy walk possible. But it was always fun. Like the conversations. I remember one time a guy, when Insomniac was on the air, like this drunk saw Dave from across the street. And we're walking, and Dave's like, "All right, man, so let's go around the Fatback Pussycat. I think people will be hanging out over there." And this drunk from across the street goes, and he's like trying to get the words Dave Attell out of his mouth, but he's too drunk and he can't do it. And Dave's like, "Yes, we'll go over to the Fat Black, and if that's not going, then we'll go." And he sees the guy, and he just turns and he goes, Anyway, so if the Flatback isn't happening, well, then we'll go uptown to this other place I know. And you're like, how are you not calling attention to what you just did?
One time I saw Dave at like 6 in the morning. I'm coming home from drinking, and he's at He's at a newsstand buying newspapers, and I go, "Dave, what 6 a.m. What are you doing?" And he goes, "Writing jokes. Ever heard of it?"
That's the most annoying part about him, was that you could go out with him. The next day, he would have an hour of new material. And
you're like, "Where'd you get that?"
Like hurting like a motherfucker.
An hour of new material with alternate punchlines for every joke that were equally as hilarious.
That was the most annoying part about it. You sit at the back with awe and jealousy at the same time. Like, I love hating you.
Yeah.
He used to, when I first moved to New York, he took me. I did some shows on the Insomniac tour with him, and then he took me around town with him to drink sometimes. And I was always so excited.
I was that guy for a little bit.
Huh?
I was that guy.
It was so exciting to me because I was this basically an open mic comic. I was making no money, and then this idol of mine was like, "Let's go hang out and drink." And I lived in bumblefuck Queens at the time, and he would take us into the depths of the Lower East Side, and it would just be shot after fucking shot. Like 5 a.m. would hit, we'd be literally swaying, and you'd look up and he'd be gone. Yeah. And you'd just be like, "I don't know how to get home. I don't know where I am right now."
I opened for him a bunch. I opened for him a bunch, and
it's fucking evil.
Everybody buys him shots.
This shit?
Everybody buys him shots when you go out with him. When he was doing Insomniac, and they would buy shots, and he doesn't want to do all of them, so he would just hand them to me and go, "Here, do this," and I'd be like, "Oh, free drinks," and then I'd have like 12 of them. I'd be like, I don't. Fuck, I'm gonna die.
Starts yelling at you like that.
I showed him.
The other funniest thing I saw him say to a fan, a guy goes, "Dave, can I please take a picture?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, sure, no problem." And the kid walks to about where you are, Eddie, and he's trying to manipulate the phone and take the picture, and he's taking forever to do it. Which forever with a camera is 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the kid's fumbling, and Dave just finally goes, "It's a camera! Let me show you!" and took it from him and showed him how to use it.
I think that's a bit of autism that comes out of him, like Asperger's.
A little Tourette.
Dave just, he just.
That's his noise that he had.
I was talking to Bill Burr about this the other night. We were at a bar talking about comedy, and we were talking about Attell, and I was like, he's the only comedian I've ever seen that made me laugh so hard I cried in the comedy club. And it was when he used to have that bit about the God giving. I don't remember the bit, but it was something about God giving things meaning, and he'd give 2 examples, and the third one was or he makes a butterfly land on a retarded boy's head.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? And there was a lady from Pakistan in the front row, and he does that joke, and it falls flat. And he goes, "Oh, come on. Isn't that the sign of a good harvest in your country? Doesn't that mean the sweet potatoes will come up ripe and strong?" And I laughed so hard I cried.
I saw him in the cellar one night say, he was talking about fireworks and people blowing their fingers off with fireworks. And he goes, "Did you ever know somebody that blows a finger off with a firework?" And this girl in the front row goes, "Yeah, my sister, and I don't find it very funny." And he goes, "So your sister, she blew off a finger," and she goes, "She blew off her whole hand." And he goes, "So she's got a hook now."
He did that little laugh underneath it, right?
And then he goes, well, that's a good thing, because now everybody wants to fuck your sister, because everybody wants to fuck the freak. And I'm just like, did he just fucking say that?
So brilliant.
And he did the line once. Every comic's done it, but he was the first one I saw do it, because I remember this is like so long ago. Like Jay Moore was still like working in New York. Like it was this is like 18 years ago. And some guy in the front row gives him like, yo, I fucked your mother. And he goes, really? You took my spineless mother out of her wheelchair and fucked her limp body. Aren't you just the mayor of Coolville? And he's like, hey, everybody, learn. He's like, he made the audience vote, and they all hate him. Then he goes like this. The guy goes, yeah, I fucked your sister, too. He goes, well, then you have AIDS because my sister's a whore.